Representative Ackert of the 8th District, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And through you, a couple of questions to the proponent of the bill.
Absolutely. Please proceed.
Thank you. And I did support this in higher ed. It was a good consumer measure, but I did have some questions after I read through it just a little bit more intently. On line 15 of the bill, there's a term used, regionally accredited. So when I think of accreditation programs, and most of our, obviously our programs are that are accredited, this is not regionally accredited. What would be a school that's not regionally accredited? Because I'm thinking, when I think of all of the post-secondary schools that we have out there, that I would think in some manner that they would locally be accredited. I guess that's not the case in this. What could you help me with that language through you, Mr. Speaker?
Representative Haddad.
Through you, Mr. Speaker, yes, I can. I'll just give you two examples in the state of Connecticut. There's Pear College of Art and the Graduate Institute are both institutions that exist in the state of Connecticut that are nationally accredited but are not regionally accredited. We oftentimes find that regional accreditation is much more stringent and robust than national accreditation. And so what we have is a situation where, and I think that we're particularly trying to protect these students because when you lack regional accreditation, it is far less certain that the credits that you've earned at the institution will easily transfer to another regionally accredited institution. And so students might find themselves attending an institution that is about to close. They may decide to avail themselves of the teach-out plan, but may decide also to go to another institution, and we want to be certain that we give those students as best chance as possible having those credits transfer into a different college. And so there are very few institutions in Connecticut that are not regionally accredited, but when they are, I think we deserve to give our students a little bit of added assurance. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Representative Ackert.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank the good gentleman for his answers. And also a follow-up, and I'm just making sure that in a manner, are most programs that we have, or all programs that we have that are post-secondary, do they have to be registered with the Office of Higher Education? And I'm just thinking about in terms of potentially trades. So give me I started Tim's Welding School, and I'm going to offer a welding course, and I did pick up, and I do in Section 2. I'm appreciative of the committee for doing that section regarding the licensure, because that's important in terms of tradespeople. They go and take a class or some other, in the medical area where they take a class and it doesn't get them to the level they need to be able to get the license or test at least for it. So I appreciate that section. But I'm thinking is everything, if I open up Tim's Welding School, do I have to register with the Office of Higher Education to have that type of school? Does this not cover that kind of school? Through you, Mr. Speaker.
Representative Haddad.
Through you, Mr. Speaker, let me just say that if Representative Ackert wanted to open her welding school, I'm sure it would be a fine school. But yes, I think it does have to be registered with the Office of Higher Education. I think they're called post-secondary occupational schools. And so some schools are called institutions of higher education, but there's another category of post-secondary educational schools that have to be scrutinized at some level by the Office of Higher Education. Through you, Mr. Speaker.
Representative Ackert.
And thank you. And the good chair gives me a lot more credit. I can't weld a thing, so I would not open a welding school. Anybody should come to Tim's Welding School at all. But I thank the good chairman for his answers, and I am supportive of this legislation. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Representative Ackert.